Hey guys, welcome to the new episode of CONVO. Nap here, I'm the head of operations, and today we'll be talking and learning about project management with the help of our guests here.
So what is the convo? What is the convo?
Anybody
Serious,
who
Joe?
looks at the
Like an eagle.
we're gonna expose some genius here.
Yeah.
For you.
Wait. I thought we were talking about some techie stuff.
I'm sitting down.
Are you ready? Ready? In 3, 2, 1.
The convo.
So, let me introduce them first. We have Jess here,
Hello guys.
existing project manager, and he's currently handling a team of 3 people, and this girl here is a hardcore project manager. She has been handling a total of 25 people.
Wow.
She used to handle 10 and now 15, right? So 15 people. So there you go, our current existing project managers, Jess and Ice.
Hey.
Cool. So let's start.
Okay.
So could you guys tell us about your definition of project management and how are you guys set up? Because project management could be very extensive, right? It can be like handling your projects with your team or yourself or your client. So it's very broad. Yes. So could you tell us more about it?
Okay, so I'm gonna go first. Okay, so the definition of project management, as you've said, Nap, is quite really a huge actually scope, and it depends on the perspective. But in the simplest form, it's actually the most effective and efficient utilization of the skills, the different techniques, the different, let's say for example, modules that is best suited for each person assigned to the task.
Okay.
That's why it's kind of the planning phase. It's how you actually conquer the task. It's planning on how to effectively distribute the different steps so that you can tackle the goal or finish the goal as much as possible, as fast as stands.
All right. What about you, Ice?
I think of it as a very simple thing. You act like in a hotel where you're waiting there and then somebody's delivering to you, this is your package. So for me, project management is taking something from the client that they want done, and then you deliver it to the team, and the team gets it done, and then you put it in a nice little package and give it to the client in a nice little package.
Okay.
So for me, it's giving VIP treatment to both parties, to both your clients and your team. So you make things easier for everybody. I think that for me is the most essential role as a project management. I've been trained by a project manager himself, my old client, Jamie McKean. He has taught me that is really the essence and the goal of project management. So
Yeah, I really agreed about what I said because one of the most common problems in project management is that if you're given a task, so you are all just too focused on giving the finished product, but how you create it is actually one of the key things so that you can approach the goal in a much positive aspect. So it's for the benefit of both the parties, the client and your team. So,
Yeah. Now we're talking about managing here, right? So
Yeah.
how did you manage it? I mean, or how are you managing it? Do you have your own style, or
Oh.
okay?
I think of myself as do you know the movie Wall-E?
Yeah.
wow.
Okay. So the little robot that cleans up the mess every time like someone goes in the building. So what I do is I take a whole lot of messes
Okay.
and then put it in one place, and then I organize it logically, and then this is how it's supposed to happen. And then I let the team do it logically, and then managing that and to put it in the logical sense and in that one I'm sorry. So in that one package, then I give it back in a logical sense. So even though the client doesn't know what they want and they're all over the place, I make sure that they're centered to, so I'm thinking that this is what you want. So I am assuming, since you're saying you want a lead page, So great, that means you want a campaign, that means you have a sequence, that means you have this. So you already are thinking like 3 to 5 steps ahead of the client. You put yourself in their shoes. So that's basically what I do when I manage. I think about what it is the task means for the client. So
Okay.
Yeah. So for me, I think for me managing the project management of our team is like me being the middleman. You know, I'm trying to assess the different understanding of each party and collate it into one so that there's a shared understanding. Because as I said, there's a different understanding on how you perceive things. So the clients would often give this task, but he would often mean a different thing. And of course, on our team, there's a different understanding on how to tackle the task. So my job there is to actually like collate each and every information and put it in a nice package, just as what I said, and relate this information to both parties so that there's actually a shared understanding. So each and every person now is in one page. So removing the confusion first and then simplifying what needs to be done is actually my role too. So.
Okay, you were both talking about perception and understanding, right? The tasks itself. But what about for the people receiving the task? How do you manage
For the
that?
team.
Do you also manage the perception and understanding of the team when you like delegate the task, or when you become the project manager? You have to understand that do they have to understand your role and how you delegate it, and what's your like style maybe?
Okay.
Do you
So
think it's like a two-way?
For our team, I actually started as a team member and somebody else as a project manager. So
Okay.
it's actually a needed thing that there's a two-way communication between the team and the project manager, because first and foremost, for you to tackle or for you to effectively tackle the goal or the project, to finish it in a very positive goal, is that you have to know the strengths and weaknesses of each team member, and if they can actually like do this stuff and not this stuff, and any stuff that needs like improvement. So knowing your team would actually like help you plan more for your project management for each project. So
I agree with knowing the team's strengths and weaknesses, and we also need to know their comfort level at doing a certain task. For example, they're not comfortable with transcribing, that's why it's never done. So you have to know those things. You have to be open to coach them, be open to teach them. It takes a lot of energy and time actually to handle the team members. If they don't understand, you have to make them understand in any way possible. For example, if you know a team member is a visual learner and they're working online only and not with you, so you have to do a video or you screenshot things, which is challenging.
extra effort.
But it does the job. So anything that helps, and sometimes you have to actually, sometimes if you don't feel like encouraging others, but you know that team member really needs encouragement, especially if they've done the task, then you have to be the one to step up, like, hey, you did a great job with this, here's another one, I know you're going to do this too, and help them to be self-managing. For me, that is the greatest achievement that I could give my team, that if I see them being able to manage themselves, then I've helped them so much.
Could you give us some tips how to teach them self-manage?
I would tell them that if they don't know something first, they need to research it first. Or if they come to me, they need to have, I've tried this and this and this and this, but it didn't work, so I'm here coming to you asking for answers, and then we can solve it together. And moving forward, if she already has the answers, then we create a document or an SOP, so when, like, for future references. So for me, I taught myself, like, I think Jamie taught me to self-manage, and I think I want to pass that on to people in the team, and I think one of the, I think that's a really great asset to have.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, I believe you guys would agree that a project manager wouldn't be effective without his or her team, right?
Yeah.
So let's just turn the perception a bit
Wow.
from
Okay.
a perception of a
Project.
team member, because I know you were a team member before,
Mhm,
right?
yeah.
So what do you think a team member should be to a project manager, since this is a teamwork, this is a two-way setup, a collaboration. So what do you think a team member should be to a project manager for them to collaborate and be effective?
Sure, can I go first?
Yeah.
I think a team member needs to communicate a lot. They need to communicate if they're stuck. They need to communicate if they're confused. They need to be open to learning. They should learn to be humble. And humility, it goes everywhere. If you're a project manager and you're prideful, you won't go anywhere. If you're a team member, if you're prideful, you won't go anywhere. So you need humility to understand, to communicate that you're confused. It's okay. You need to be able to work really hard. I think that one too. Those three things: humility, working really hard, and what was the first one that I said? Forgot. Yeah, communicate. Yeah, communicate.
So for me, it's also the same. It's communication, but there are different characteristics also that the team member should also exude. It's first and foremost is that he should be honest. Honest in terms of what he understood, what he can do, what his problems are, what he can also do. So because a shared understanding means that each and every strength of your members will be the strength of the team, and the weaknesses of each of the member could also be the weakness of the team. So you're trying to overlap all those weaknesses with the strengths of each member. So being honest would actually really help. Second is that you try to be as I said, humility, because each member could be assigned to a different task, and you would think that I'm much more suited for that task. Why is that not really given to me? So it must be be understood that the project manager has actually a different plan on how he perceives things and different on how you perceive things. So he's in a bird's eye view, and you're just in a linear level. So you should understand that you should have humility. And thirdly is that being being cooperative. Cooperative in terms that if this is my task and somebody needs my help, I would be open to help others, because me and Ice, we started in a project manager, and we are members. Okay, so we are given this room for improvement, and we can't really improve if we just focus on ourselves. So asking for help and giving help to somebody is actually one of the best ways to learn, if you're a member. So.
Okay. Now I know you guys have been project managers for a long time.
Yeah.
So could you share us your experience about the most difficult part or the challenging part of being a project manager?
Okay, so first and foremost is, for my experience, is that when I was assigned to a new project, and in addition to that, there was also a new member assigned, because we are three in the team now, but I started as one and became two. So when this project was given, I was really, really, really confident on how we do the tandem thing, just the two of us. And then there was an onboarding process for the third person. So I was not really prepared because because the client was not able to set expectations.
Do you also handle personalities of people? Do you also handle personalities of people?
Yeah, you have to read.
Manage them.
Yeah, you have to read them as in a personal level, but not just push through enough to let them it's a family bonding relationship.
Okay.
So you just have to be careful not to encompass the privacy levels. But yeah, managing the character or personality of each member is also your job. But because of that, it was really hard, because you have to create the plan, and one of course, the structures of the basic pillars of the plan is knowing your team members, and this person I still don't know about, so I have to really ask, and because this person is a little bit closed as for the first, because I think she is shy, it's really hard to actually assign the best things or move the project around to suit the new person. So I think that was a very good learning process for me because I actually felt the pressure. Therefore, I just assigned the task, even though I don't think that they could actually handle that, and it was a big mistake for me because I should have really prepared and should have waited for the team members to get ready before like going into the task. But eventually, we were able to like pull through. So it was really hard.
Awesome. So our screen here is
Yes, the
a
portal is a
screen.
screen. So it's very
I
beautiful.
think it got bored. sorry, screen.
Yeah, the convo.
So, talking about difficulties and challenges, how do you deal with difficulty members or clients?
Difficult clients. I think you need to put yourself, again, you need to put yourself in their shoes. What are they really feeling? Why are they really frustrated? Is it
Okay.
something that you did? Is it something that you can help them with? And you really also need to listen to their feedback. Like if they say no, if they say that your service is not good because this and that, accept that and find solutions to that problem. Feedback is very essential, and it can improve not only you but the business that you're handling.
True.
And I think no client is difficult because they're also people, and people are, sometimes they're angry, sometimes they're happy. So you find out why they're angry, and you don't really have to explain yourself all the time. It's just that it must just be that day that they're angry, So that's it for difficult clients, and me making sure that I thank them and making sure that I'm sincere to help them with their business and to help them with my capability to help them. So that's me. And for people, I think it's more to do with understanding who they are, understanding how they work, understanding how they tick. Basically, if you understand the people, you stop blaming them for mistakes. You start understanding, wait, is this a system issue or is this a personal issue? Is it a skill issue? Is it a behavior issue? So when a mistake happens, you have to think about all these different dimensions. And if it's a skill issue or behavior issue, if it's a behavior issue, you attack it, So you talk to that person, why? But if it's you see that a person is doing their best but is not hitting the goal, then it might be a system issue or a skill issue. So really getting to know that person and having a lot of patience.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Well, that's not really hard.
Okay. So for me, dealing with, let's say for example, a very difficult client or the team member, what I really practice is that you should reiterate things. So this is actually applicable to not just the difficult clients, but to all regular clients. So we practice reiteration. Let's say for example, if an instruction is given, you reiterate based on how you understand things. Because I really think that there is no such person, as I said, that is difficult if you actually remove the possible problems already. So if you remove all those possible problems, you can get to the solution pretty quickly. So reiterating stuff and communicating also is one of the keys. Another thing is taking responsibility for your role, because the clients would be angry if something happened. They can be just in being angry if of course they felt that they're left alone or if they're just disregarded, and you have to actually take responsibility for what happened. You should hear them out, understand, empathize with them, then say what you have to say to explain things, and then promise that you have to provide a solution. And this solution would actually be it depends on the problem. As I said, it might be the personal issue, the system issue. So you should also leave an area for improvement for yourself, for your team, and actually, even though it might not look at it, but the clients could actually also get something from you. And that improvement is understanding on giving the task. and working with another person, another team, not just themselves. So.
Okay. Thank you. So, client can be the project manager, right? Could be the project manager or the team member in the future. Now, what can you suggest for new project managers or those who want to become one, like you guys? So,
Okay,
Alright.
I'll go first. I think never stop learning. Always keep reading about leadership.
okay.
Project management is not only managing tasks or projects, but it's also leadership. You have to know that you are helping both ends, the client's end and your team. So it's essential also to be humble, to never get into your head that, hey, I finished this project on time and I'm really good at it and this client is really happy. You'd never know that, the next day this other client would be miserable. So be humble, keep learning, keep serving outside of your comfort zone. I think, and keep communicating. I think communication is very essential, especially to Western clients. They don't like it when they have a question and you beat around the bush and not answer that question because you're afraid.
Yeah.
So be straightforward, be firm, but be courteous. And for me, I think that's it.
Yeah. For me, the thing that I can advise is that there are a lot of materials about project management that you could actually read upon. But always remember that these materials are really just theories. So the only thing that you can learn is if you're going to put yourself on a project manager's shoes. So if you do this, you can actually practice all the things that you've learned through these books through proper experience. Okay, so because there's no such thing also as the same scenarios. Each scenario is unique. It might look the same, but there's this single thing that will be different. So on how you tackle all of those things, you will learn it through experience. Next is that communication. Communication is not just limited to you having the authority. It's you having the authority to know that humility is also part of your role. So if your team has a suggestion, you should learn from them. You could also give them the learning. So that's all. And I mean, that's one thing. Another thing is when you deal with a client, you should deal with them cautiously because there are different scenarios of which that you can have a reading of the client, that there are hard clients, this is a difficult client, this is an easy client. So there's no such thing as your first impression will always last for this client because as for us, this is a virtual communication, right? So you should be open to all the possibilities. And with that, you should not close your mind into how you understand things. So you should always be open. And if you're open, then you can learn a lot of things. So
Thank you, Jess and I. So there you go, guys. So I hope you've learned something new. I hope you learned something about project management, and that's it for us. Thank you, guys. See you on our next episode. Bye.
Thank you.